Good morning. This is going to be math instruction for September the 28th. So we've been working on multiplication and division in class. So today you're going to learn to solve multiplication and division word problems. So you'll have to read the word problem and you're going to have to decide if you're going to multiply or if you're going to divide. If you need some extra work or you have some extra time at home, you can always get on MobyMax, Prodigy, or Extra Math. So let's go to our first problem. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read the word problem. The potion needs 2 cups of sugar for each batch. We want to make 4 batches. How many cups of sugar do we need? So I'm making 4 batches, and each of them have to have 2 cups. So I have 4 groups of 2. So if I need 4 groups of 2, I know that's multiplying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my dots here to drag. So I have to have 4 groups. So I'm going to draw my 4 groups. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? So I'm going to take, and how many do I put in each group? Well, the potion said I need 2 cups of sugar for each one. So I need to drag 2 dots down here for each group. So that's 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2, okay? So the 4 circles represent the 4 batches. The 2 cups are the sugar that each batch needs, okay? So how many do I have total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many cups of sugar do we need? Well, we need 8. So let's type our equation here. If I have 4 groups of 2, what I'm really saying is 4 times 2 equals 8, okay? So 4 groups of 2, how that's said is 4 times 2 equals 8. That is not the only way you can solve a multiplication equation. You can also use repeated addition. So when you're using repeated addition on 4 times 2, you're adding 2 4 times. So it would be 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So you can always use repeated addition to solve the multiplication equation. You can use the equal groups, and you can also use an array. It just depends on what you like to use and which strategy you prefer. You can also do all 3 strategies if you want to. Just make sure that you type the equation in and that you show some kind of picture, whether that be equal groups, arrays, or you use repeated addition. So let's go to our next task card and I'm going to read that. Adeline and Liam have the same amount of candy in their bags. They have 16 pieces altogether. How many pieces does each kid have? So in each one of those bags, they have the same amount. I know my total, okay? So when I know my total, that's my dividend. That's the number I'm going to take, 16, and I am going to divide that by 2, okay? I'm going to take 16 and I'm going to divide that by 2, okay? So my equation is going to be 16 divided by 2. How many groups do I need to draw? I need to draw 2, so that's 1 and 2. All right, now I have these dots up here and I can take and drag them. Do I put 16 in each group? No, because this isn't saying 16 groups of 2. This is saying I have 16 and I'm dividing it into 2 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16, okay? So this group here is Adeline's, and this group is Liam's, okay? So how many do each of them have? Well, let's count and see what Adeline has. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So let's see if Liam has 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So Liam has 8 as well. So 16 divided by 2 is 8. We can also use repeated subtraction to solve a division problem. So I can start at 16 and I can subtract 2 until I get to 0. So if I take 16 and I subtract 2, what will that give me? That's going to give me 14. You're right. Okay, am I at 0? No. So I'm going to need to subtract again. So I subtracted 1 time here. Now let's keep going till we get to 0. So what's 14 minus 2 is 12. Am I at 0? No. So I'm going to keep subtracting until I get to 0. So I've subtracted 2 times, but I have not got to 0. So 12 minus 2 again is 10. All right. Am I at 0? No. So I'm going to keep subtracting until I get to 0. So I've subtracted 3 times, but I'm still not at 0. I ran out of room over here, so I'm going to come up here. So what's 10 minus 2? 10 minus 2 is 8. Am I at 0? No, so I'm going to keep subtracting. So I've subtracted 4 times, but I'm still not at 0. What's 8 minus 2? 8 minus 2 is 6. Am I at 0? No, so I'm going to keep subtracting. So I've subtracted 5 times. So I've got to keep subtracting until I get to 0. What's 6 minus 2? 6 minus 2 is 4. Am I at 0? No, so I'm going to keep subtracting. So I've subtracted 6 times. What's 4 minus 2? That is 2. I'm still not at 0, so I've got to keep subtracting. So I've subtracted 7 times. Now, what's 2 minus 2? 2 minus 2 is 0. I finally made it to 0. So how many times did I have to subtract 2 to get to 0? How many times did I have to subtract 2? I had to subtract 2 8 times. Okay? So 16 divided by 2 is 8. You can use repeated subtraction or you can use equal groups, whichever one you want to use, as long as you solve the problem. You will need to complete the rest of this on your own. So you'll complete slide 4, slide 5, and slide 6, and then you will submit the assignment.